What's up, fam? It's Chappell, host of the Recap Kickback podcast, here for the final RHAP exit interview of the GOAT as a part of the RHAP Hit or Quit podcast feed. And with me to close out this great season of television, we have the remainder of our final four. First up, we have our second placer, grocery store Joe Amabile. Hi, Joe. What's up?
What's up? How you doing? And you just pronounced my last name perfect. So nice.
Hey, okay.
Nice.
All right, we're off to a good start. Next, we have our third place finisher, Chef Jason Smith. Chef Jason, how are you?
Honey, I'm as fine as frog hair.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And last, but certainly not least, our fourth place finisher, the queen, Jill Zarin. Jill, what's up?
All good, all good.
It is such a pleasure for me to get to talk to y'all. I've been watching the whole season. I have a bunch of questions for our listeners. And so I don't know where we're going to jump in, but I think we have to start with our finale performance and our new winner, Paula. So we witnessed an epic finale, our first inaugural winner of the GOAT, Paula. Jill, how do you feel about Paula representing the season as the winner of season one?
Couldn't be happier. She really went through the mill to end up where she did. She was on the hot seat to go home 6 times, I think. And she was also at a disadvantage because English is a second language, and spelling, the one that I became GOAT on, that one she lost. The spelling bee with the cooking of the whatever the pasta thing, she lost. And then the spelling at the end, also she got timed out, which they don't really show on the show, but after 10 minutes, if you don't get it, they move you forward. It happened to her, happened to me. Because I didn't get it either. So actually, I think they show it that she did get it, but it doesn't matter. She won. So I think that in spite of the fact that she doesn't speak English as a first language, and she was on the hot seat and survived 6 times, she earned her spot.
Yes, it was such a fun win to watch. Chef Jason, were you surprised at how well you did in the game? Third place is a respectable placement for any reality show, but you kind of killed it.
Well, especially one that I've never done like this. I think that I started getting more surprised toward the middle of it. I'm like, I think this country boy can actually do this. So I think, I was a little bit surprised by that. I think my biggest surprise was in the very first show when I just spoke my mind and said exactly what I thought, and Tasha kept me. And I was like, whoa, I've said this a million times, and this is only like the third time this has ever worked. Anybody's ever really, so, which I meant every word I said to her. So
that's one of the few memories that I'll always remember when you stood up.
I mean, I'm like, right. And it was true. It was from the heart. It was exactly what I thought at that time. And it was one of those things that, it was what it was. And I wasn't trying to put on airs. I wasn't trying to fake anything. I wasn't going to say anything that I couldn't stand behind it. So it was the truth. And so I kind of was surprised, like I said, more in the beginning. But then as time goes on, I thought, you know what? You can do this just as much as anybody that's here. So yeah.
No, that's a great answer. I was very happy watching you play the game. It was very fun to watch. Joe, it was also fun watching you play. My co-host and I, we thought you had a fighting chance throughout the season. We were really starting to think that you were gaining momentum. What do you think went wrong for you in the end?
I don't know if anything went wrong. I feel honestly like I think I played the best social game I could have played. If I think those those ending competitions with the balance in the book on my head, and towards the end how horrible I was at putting together a mannequin. I think that kind of really made me look more of a weaker player, and I just think that was a strike against me. But yeah, I mean, my strategy at the end was trying to push the social aspect, and I thought I played a very good social game, and I got the Devon vote, so at least I got that.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that. I was wondering who was the one vote, because I believe it was 10-1.
6-1.
6-1.
Yeah, because we couldn't vote.
Oh yeah, obviously. Okay, cool. Yeah. So 6-1. You got the Devon vote. Were you surprised by that?
I knew Paul wasn't going to get it, so it was either Jason or I. But no, I wasn't surprised because I was playing more of a strategic game that you don't see as much, and Devon was part of that. So I do think Jill's laughing over there. Jill, quit laughing, Jill. Quit laughing. She's cracking up. She's eating her candy. She's laughing. She's like, this guy is so full of shit. But you know what? I might as well be right now.
5, we all knew we were making it to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We made a secret alliance that didn't come out on the show.
Was this the alliance that CJ told me about with the nature walks in the apple? Because that's my type of alliance.
She wasn't. She didn't know about the alliance. That's why she went home.
Oh.
Alliance between Devon, Pow, and the 3 of us. There were 5.
Gotcha.
And
the apple, the walk that CJ is telling you about with the apple and all that, that was me. I was with them. I didn't say anything. I just walked with them and let them talk. And it was CJ and it was most of the boys. It was CJ, Reza, Wendell, Justin, and I was along for the walk that day. So
pulled the carpet.
Yeah.
It was the other alliance who couldn't. It was the other alliance who couldn't figure out how to vote together.
Yeah.
They were an alliance, but none of their votes would line up.
No.
Yeah. So we did figure out when we got to 9, which is the magic number, that if you get an alliance of 5 to stay together and not break, we can get 4 out. And then it's every man for himself. And we said that. We said when it gets to 5, but for those 4 episodes, we were sleeping great.
Jill, I was keeping up with some of the gameplay and like the conversations on social media, and I can speak for a lot of the audience when I say they were very sad to see that you were not able to make it into the final 3 spot. What was going through your mind when you saw how physical?
I want to see it. I haven't seen anything actually. Of course, it's social media. I don't even know how to use it, but really, people were upset about it. I was more upset, believe me.
People were sad they were rooting for you, but it seemed like it was such a physical challenge, and with your back issues, it might have been a struggle for you. What was going through your mind when you saw that?
It was 2. If I had done well on one of those 2, I would have made it. But I timed out on both. I timed out on like the toss. I think I made it in like 9 minutes and 3 seconds. It was a 10-minute tie out. If you don't do the task in 10 minutes, they just push you forward. I did terrible on that. I couldn't find the key. I barely flipped the table. But when I got to the words, I caught up to everybody. And Pal, who can't spell, in fairness, it's a second language. She had the same problem I did. I thought she just couldn't spell. I thought I couldn't spell. I did not know that the order was the order people left.
Oh.
So every time I'm scrambling up the letters, the guy's like, nope. And I'm spelling Jason's name, with an E, whatever. I'm just, changing everyone's name. Nope. I didn't get it, even though it was right in front of me. 5, 6, those were this double elimination. Didn't get it. Had I been a fan of Big Brother, evidently that's how people, win or lose. So that if I had gotten that, I actually got the shoot thing in 2. So I caught up to the puzzle, despite the fact that I timed out on 2 things, and puzzles was my thing. I would have had that another 2 minutes. But you know what? Listen, I always, Bobby, my late husband, is watching over me. I asked him not to win. I asked him to let me play all the games. I played every game because the last game that I didn't play wasn't a game. It was a conversation. So I'm very grateful. And I feel that I participated in the fact that I got us, the 4 of us, to the end. And very proud of that. And I'm happy Pal won. I've been happy if Jason or Joe won. I feel that, or Devon, I feel like the 5 of us were a family that nobody knew. We had a secret alliance, and I felt very, very close to them. So, and I didn't, I guess deep down, in a way, I wanted to win, but I really didn't want to win. Like I wanted to get to the end, but I think I almost sabotage myself sometimes. I don't know.
Understandable. Yeah, I get that. Jason, did you find any of the challenges particularly difficult?
No, not really. I mean, they were all, because I'm very competitive. So I never thought anything about the challenges being difficult. I guess the most difficult challenge that was probably the hardest on my body, which, I mean, if anybody's seen me by now on the thing, you all know I have this beautiful voluptuous body that I'm so curvy. But anyway, the thing that actually was the hardest on me was when we had to hold the rope and build the house, because that used all your body from head to toe, because you were bent over, you were using every muscle in your body, and then you had to stay walking on the little beam. And, I'm one of those, I have very good balance. So, it's because I'm shaped like a pear. I'm like a roly-poly. Y'all remember the roly-poly people? So I mean, that's the only one that I would say that it was not hard for me. It was just enduring. I had to endure to constantly use everything I had.
Can I tell you my favorite one? And I didn't get to participate.
Which one?
Was the one they all got electrocuted. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
the hardest one to watch as a viewer, because I didn't participate, because I was they had to make the teams even and one person was sat out. First of all, I think they both did a really terrible job of shouting out the instructions. I am a very visual person and I'm really good at like directions. And I would have said it so differently than even Day. The fact that you guys made it was a miracle. I would be like, okay, it's going to be 5 steps. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn left. It's going to be 5 steps. 1, 2. Like I had the whole thing in my head and I'm screaming in my head and they're all getting electrocuted. Joe, how many times did she kill you?
Yeah,
Seriously.
I got electrocuted a lot, but we finished in quick time, so that's all
Yeah,
that mattered there.
I was
Yeah.
good with the shock. It was okay.
Yeah, Joe,
How
what
much
was
did it
more?
hurt?
Yeah, how much was it? How was it really bad, Joe?
No,
It was
no,
there
it
was
wasn't bad.
2. We had 2 shock collars, one on each arm. So I mean, it was not like a cattle prod or anything. I mean, you wasn't going to lose your hair. I mean, I didn't. So
Joe,
Anyway, I just thought it was funny to watch, to see everybody banging into the walls.
yeah, no, that was very fun for even from the television aspect. It was. Joe, what was more shocking, that moment or seeing Tayshia's reaction to you at the end?
Tasha's reaction. You know, I mean, I knew she was upset. I just was like, I don't know, the temperature in the house, regardless of her coming up to me, telling me like the girls are going to vote for me. I already knew that like it was either her or I, like those were the only 2 names. And I wanted to have a conversation with her before the challenge saying like, I think it could be her and I, because we were friends, and we knew each other, and it was like either I concede and just go home or I agree to vote for Tayshia and I move on. So that was kind of it's hard because you don't want to vote your friend home, but I'm like, if I want to stay, I mean, it's very simple.
And y'all are good now?
Yeah,
I felt bad.
We're
She
good.
really did try to do
We're
the right
good.
thing. Like she gave you a heads up. And in the end, that bit her in the ass.
Yeah, but it was just like it didn't. If there was another name in the hat, that would have played, but there just wasn't. It was just her or I.
yeah.
Right.
Understood. So
It was
Chef
crazy, I
Jason,
tell you.
is there anything that you all would like to share that we didn't see on the show? Because we're running out of time right now. All secrets.
I mean, the one thing that I'd have to say, and Jill could probably say the same thing, is we cooked a lot and we all ate and had such a good time, but you see that very little. That was the one time everybody put their game aside. We come around the table when we cooked. We had a great time with each other. And we just had that family moment where we sat down and ate and had that 1 hour we wasn't gaming. So for me, that was the one thing I wish that people had seen that just a little bit more. But other than that, no.
Jill, what about you?
I think when I made Passover, it was our first day. There were 14 of us in the house. No one had been sent home. And it was a really nice meal to share, for me, my religion, with people who had never even heard of Passover, had never worn a kippah, and they really enjoyed it. I was surprised, and I think it was authentic. Like, I think everybody was really into it, and it was just a nice night. Whatever the holiday, could have been Thanksgiving, but whatever it was, it brought us together. So that's something meaningful to me.
Yeah, that's really cool. Joe, did you have any moments like that as well?
Yeah, I would say Miss Jill Zarin over there, she had a pickleball court, a pickleball flown in for us, and we would play pickleball. So like whenever we were able to turn the game off, which we were, and everyone was able to get along, because at the end of the day, it's really just a game. So I think those moments were great.
The weekends were great.
Yeah, Jill. So this reality show's down the drain. You've already done so many other appearances. Can we see you in competition reality shows moving forward? What would you do next if you had your chance?
I don't know. I'm sure something that hasn't come out yet. I would love to. I don't know if they'll ever pick me, but I would love to do a competition show. I do. And I think they'll be pretty safe that I won't win, but I'll play a good game and we'll have a lot of fun and we'll eat some good food. So.
Yeah, Chef Jason, you've been in competition before, but nothing like this. Could you see yourself doing a show maybe like The Traders or Celebrity Big Brother?
Yes, actually, I would love to do Traders. I'd love to do Survivor, and I probably
Wait,
would
wait,
do. Yeah, I would love to do Survivor. That's actually the one competition show I've always wanted to do for years. That was the one I always wanted to do.
Afraid. What about Naked and Afraid?
No, girl, you've seen me. All of this would not be good naked. You've seen me with my clothes on, but now we all know this wouldn't be pretty on Naked and Afraid, honey, because I'm past the age that we look good naked. So
Grocery Store Joe, Naked and Afraid?
No, Naked and Afraid. No, Naked and Afraid. I would if I had my choice, yeah, I would say the Traders seems like a lot of fun, or maybe challenge myself and try to do like Special Forces would be great.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so last question for everybody. I'm just gonna give you each a chance to go around the horn real quick and just tell everybody what they're working on and where they can find you. Queen Jill, you're up first.
You know, I've got something always going on. So I've got my rugs at jillsaaron.com, and I have, you know, my pickleball paddles and my candles at Jill and Allie. I'm going to be going to the gift show and giving a speech and all that and showing my stuff in July. And I've got a couple of TV projects in the works that I am, you know, pre-production on. So very excited. A lot of stuff coming up.
Okay, and our third placer, Chef, what's going on?
So I have the first cookbook out. I have a new cookbook coming out this September. It's all about desserts. And then I have some other products that's fixing to hit the market, plus some more television stuff that's fixing to come out, cooking this time.
Hey.
So hopefully, hopefully the non-cooking will come too. But you can always find me, of course, on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me. Just type in Chef Jason Smith on your Google, honey. Google always knows where I'm at. So
that part. And Grocery Store Joe, what about you?
Yeah, appreciate the plug. You can find me Instagram, Joe Mobley 1. I have a pasta sauce called Sundays with Joe. It's in local stores in Chicago. And then my wife and I have a podcast with The Bachelor called Bachelor Happy Hour.
All right. Thank y'all so much for coming and spending your time with me. I know y'all are very busy, so I'm going to wrap this up, but this has been a pleasure.
Have a nice one.
Sugar.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. Okay, RHAP listeners, those were our second, third, and fourth place finishers from season 1 of The GOAT. Thank you all for being with me this season for the exit press for some of the greatest reality TV contestants of all time. To keep up with more reality TV coverage, please remember to subscribe to the RHAP Hit or Quit podcast feed for weekly content, and be sure to follow me on all social media platforms at Recap Kickback for more information on what I have going on. Until next time, peace.